LLMs translate human intent into multi-vendor network actions, synthesize logs and telemetry into concise RCA, and surface prescriptive recommendations, speeding diagnosis, standardizing runbooks, and enabling non-experts to execute complex tasks safely. However, LLM hallucinations can invent incorrect commands or confident but wrong root causes, risking downtime and compliance breaches. Mitigations include strict evidence anchoring, retrieval augmented prompts, deterministic validation gates, and human in the loop approach before any high risk change. Hello, my name is Yogendra Shukla, also known as Yogi, and I'm the co founder of NetPrompt AI. In this video, we present to you NetPrompt, which is an intelligent network control layer that sits on top of your existing networking infrastructure and platforms, providing AI driven reasoning and automation capabilities without replacing your current tools or workflows.
Think of this brain as a unifying interface. It sits in the middle of your ecosystem, kind of like a hub. On one side, you have your integrated infrastructure. This is all the hardware. NetProm connects directly to your core network devices, routers, switches, firewalls, SD-WANs across multiple OEM types like Cisco, Juniper, Arista, Palo Alto, Fortinet, HP, Aruba. It integrates with AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, and even virtual environments like VMware and Docker. So that's the infrastructure side. Then on the other side, it connects to your operations and management tools. So it's like talking to your ITSM platforms, IT service management tools like ServiceNow or Manage Engine. And it also talks to your monitoring tools like Splunk, Datadog, and SolarWinds. It creates what they call true multi-vendor intelligence, a single pane of glass. But NetPrompt is different. It allows for analytics and actions across the entire estate, no matter what brand is in the box. There are 8 key differentiators. The first is syntax agnostic NLP or natural language processing. This is the talk to your network part. Traditionally, if you wanted to ask a network a question, you needed to know the specific command line interface or CLI for that specific vendor. And the AI is the translator. It takes your intent and converts it into the specific code required for each device. NetPrompt emphasizes that its system is deterministic and auditable. It means that the AI isn't hallucinating. Its reasoning process is constrained. It has guardrails and provides a complete audit trail of how it reached its conclusion. But even more importantly, they have intelligent approval workflows. It presents the plan to a human and says, "Here's what I recommend. Do I have a permission to proceed?" It keeps the human in the loop. NetProm manages device credentials securely on the premise. They're never exposed to the cloud. Plus, the platform is ISO 27001 certified, which checks the compliance box for most large organizations. So NetPrompt is divided into two parts, where the subsystem comprises of an in-prem virtual appliance and a cloud-based LLM, where the virtual appliance is the one which is housing all the credentials, all the configuration specifics, all the deployment specific information in-prem. And then the cloud is the one which is housing the LLM, which does the reasoning, but there is no data which is user specific, which is shared on the with the cloud. It's always masked and normalized before sending to the cloud LLM. The LLM is never trained with the user data, and at the same time, there's never a situation where there are two contexts of two different users on the LLM exchanging the user data. The agentic AI architecture for NetPrompt is primarily based around the three foundational pillars. First is the templated driven design, which ensures that all the action which are happening are always included from a template perspective as grounding rules for the AI. They are kind of a simple English based commands which are housed in the template. Then there is a human in the loop approach, always for a guardrail. So that there's that any configuration change related command will always require a human in the loop approval. And the last one is a robust security, which is housed by ISO 27001 and other aspects, which make sure that there is no air gap related scenario and there's always a robust security. So the workflow is very simple. It starts all with the user intent based prompt. Then the orchestration engine tries to decipher what's the meaning of the prompt. Once that deciphering happens, it knows that what particular component of the ecosystem which houses the 8 different type of mechanisms, is meant for. And then there is a tool selection which happens, and after the tool selection, then the command is executed using that tool, and the output is then given to the LLM for reasoning, and then a normalized and summarized resultant is shared with the user. So it's a simple 4 step intelligent workflow. There is a flexible deployment method for NetPrompt, where the idea is that once you choose your deployment model in terms of the on prem LLM or the hybrid cloud LLM or the cloud native LLM, then all you need to do is just download the VM from NetPrompt website. You install it into the VMware, which takes approximately 5 to 10 minutes. You connect that and add your first network device, and then become start troubleshooting. So effectively, you are ready in about 12 to 15 minutes. You don't need to buy any servers and no cloud accounts. You are basically production ready with this CPU requirement and RAM and other requirements which are mentioned here. And they are pretty normal requirements for a platform of this scale. The autonomous root cause analysis here talks about a scenario where there is a reactive monitoring uh, in a topology aware of fault isolation which is happening. And then there will be a remediation action which will be given by NetPrompt, and it will be recorded in a ServiceNow or Manage Engine ticket that can basically then be used for remediation. And even the remediation related prompts and other mechanisms will be mentioned in that tool. Additionally, there is also a proactive monitoring, which means that you can schedule the prompt workflow as a part of the scheduler, and then that can keep monitoring for health checks. The moment a trigger happens, there is a script which starts to execute based on the continuous analysis on telemetry and logs, and then the anomaly detection is done before the threshold is breached. The entire action is then given as a human in a loop command for approval, and once the approval is given, this is resolved and the system is monitored to be returning to normalcy. And this entire set of action is then recorded in your ITSM ticket. So, bottom line is we provide a single conversational interface to manage, troubleshoot, and automate your entire multi vendor estate. Here are 3 really specific use cases. Scenario 1 is a WLAN based DDoS attack where thousands of fake connections requests are flooding in. Here, NetPrompt would access 3 different systems. The AI would detect the anomaly, correlate the data, and then update the ITSM ticket with remediation option. This massively reduces the MTTR because the investigation, which usually take the longest, is done in seconds. The human just have to review and click approve. Let's look at scenario 2. This one is the SOC analyst part. Intelligent alert triage. We talked about alert fatigue. This is a productivity multiplier. Instead of an analyst skimming through 500 alerts, the AI groups them. It looks at the pattern and says, okay, these 50 alerts are actually all symptoms of one root cause. So it's not 50 problems, it's just one problem. And then we have a scenario 3, which is maybe the most aggressive one: rapid threat containment. If the confidence level is greater than or equal to say 85%, then the system is smart enough to know that it's sure and it should act immediately. So it'll log into the Fortinet firewall and block the IP. It logs into the switch and shuts down the port, in effect, enabling the proactive monitoring. And where this is all going? 2025 is focused on the basics: compliance, golden config, which is making sure all your devices are set up correctly, and MTTR optimization. That's the stopping point for bleeding phase. Then 26 is policy automation and incident automation. And by 27, the goal is for the system to spot a fault before it even happens. So NetPrompt AI is a product which is product plus services model. It offers outcome based delivery with on site engineers. This is a crucial step because in networking, every environment is unique. Having an on site engineer is always helping to tune the system and ensuring that AI is actually solving the specific problems according to the business needs of the customer. NetProp's agentic AI orchestration consolidates telemetry, normalizes multi vendor signals, and converts intent into validated actions. The result? Customers routinely report up to 70% reduction in MTTR. At the same time, NetProm drives 60% lower operational overhead and enables engineers to manage 10 times more devices without even adding risk. Our validation workflows prevent human mistakes before they reach production. Equally important, NetProm cuts configuration errors by 95% and wraps every automated step in an auditable evidence bundle your auditors will accept. If you are a CTO, CIO, CISO who's looking to make NetOps measurable, predictable, and safe, book a short proof of value with NetPrompt and see these outcomes in your environment. A fascinating future to look forward to or perhaps to prepare. But that's it for this sneak peek into the NetPrompt AI solution. Talk to your networks. Thanks for watching.